the 2019 League of Legends World Championships. Very happy to host the media at our event this morning. Thank you for joining us at this amazing venue. It's going to be an amazing weekend. We're very much looking forward to it. I wanted to take this time to thank you. We wouldn't be where we are today, literally and figuratively, without the great coverage that you provide on a day-to-day basis. So thank you again very much. Our hosts, of course, are La Tour Eiffel, and we have Patrick Branco from the Eiffel Tower who would like to say a few words of welcome. Thank you, Patrick.
Good morning, everybody. We are very happy to welcome you today because you come from all over the world. And it's our tradition at the Eiffel Tower to welcome everybody from the world, from China, from Europe, from the States, and it's really a pleasure. It's a pleasure because we are also very interested to attract more young people at the Eiffel Tower, and it's a good opportunity, League of Legends, and I would like to thank you, League of Legends, for this partnership, and it was very interesting for us to we learned a lot about League of Legends, and it was very interesting. Thank you so much for to be here with us, and we hope that you will stay a bit with us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. To really test your League of Legends knowledge, though, I'll be coming back at you to find out who you're maining this week. So next up, also somebody who would not be here without his amazing support from the city of Paris, the Deputy Mayor, Jean-François Martin. Merci.
Merci. Well, on behalf of Anne Hidalgo, the Mayor of Paris, I will really want to address you. Warm welcome in Paris, warm welcome at the Eiffel Tower. I want to say Riot Games, welcome in Paris, you're at home. Nicolo, you're obviously at home, but all Riot Games teams, you are at home here in Paris, because Paris is a city that decided 4 years ago to become one of the most exciting and innovative cities in esports industry, hosting such great teams as, of course, Vitality, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain esports, but as well a lot of new development as the first public incubator for startups in esports industry with the level 256. So when we began to discuss with Riot Games 2 years and a half, we were so excited to be host city for the World's League of Legends. So it's a great honor for us. We are pleased, excited, grateful. Well, everything that we feel for the other sports event, like we opened and we host the Euro 2016 football tournament. We host the Ryder Cup in golf in 2017. We will host the Olympics and Paralympics in 2024. And we now look at the World's as major event as the one I've just mentioned. So thank you to be here. You're at home and eSport is at home in Paris. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you again for hosting us. So we're going to start the conference. I'll give you the lay of the land for what hopefully will be an amazing day of content. We're going to first bring up 4 executives from our team to answer any of your questions. Then we will have the LPL champion Fun Plus Phoenix, who will come up next. And we'll wrap it up with G2 Esports. But we'll get started first with several of our executives who've been a big part of creating this event for all our fans around the world. If you guys can come on up. Next to the traveling trophy case is Nicolas Laurent, CEO of Riot Games. To his right is Naz Alataha, who is the global head of business development and partnerships at Riot Games. To her right is John Needham, the new head of global esports at Riot Games. And to his right is Jessica Nam, who is the lead producer of League of Legends, also a superstar in a League 10 announcement that you all saw and watched. So feel free to ask her any questions related to the game, because she's amazing. But we'll start first with the man here to your right, Nicolo. You feel at home? I mean, you're sitting here, like, could you imagine sitting next to this beautiful trunk? We're about to launch the biggest event probably in the history of esports. How does this make you feel?
Yes, thanks David. Maybe I'll say a few words in French, my home city. So, c'est vraiment un moment de plein d'émotions pour moi. En tant que Français, d'être là, il y a une vingtaine d'années, j'étais à Paris, étudiant parisien, à regarder notre équipe de France nationale faire des merveilles en Coupe du Monde sur le parvis de l'hôtel de ville, regarder un écran géant. Je faisais la fête juste en bas, sur le champ de Mars, pour fêter la victoire et les performances de notre équipe. Et de me dire que 20 ans plus tard, je suis là à la tête du plus grand e-sport au monde pour les finales à Paris, c'est un moment assez fort pour moi. I'll get back to English, don't worry. But what I was just saying is, you know, 20 years ago, around 20 years ago, I was just a young Parisian student, and I was watching my idols, the French soccer team, doing wonders during the World Cup. I was at the City Hall watching the show on a big screen. I was partying just under the Eiffel Tower at the Champ de Mars when the team was doing great. And so being here 20 years later, knowing that the city of Paris is helping League of Legends be, host an awesome final, that's very emotional for me. So yeah, I feel at home, and I couldn't be happier than I am today.
Thank you, Nicolo. Naz, obviously you were at the beginning of the discussions related to our partnership with Louis Vuitton. Quite a trunk trophy case we have here to carry the trophy, and it does fit, right? Because,
It does fit.
Okay, just checking. We'll see more on the 10th, whether it fits or not on Sunday. But how did this all come together and your involvement in it?
Yeah, sure. So, since we launched League of Legends in 2009, the game has grown to be the most played PC game in the world, and the sport has grown to be the #1 esports property in the world. And our aim is always to, on the sports side, is to deliver the highest quality sports experience for our fans all around the globe. And this past year, we asked ourselves the question, how can we take the most prestigious moment of our sports season, which is the awarding of the Summoners Cup, and how can we elevate that further? Victory travels in Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton, yes, is the most iconic fashion brand in the world. They have been supporters of some of the most coveted sports trophies in the world, if you look at who they support, like the FIFA World Cup. So we're incredibly honored that the Summoners Cup is in such good company. We are so proud to see our partnership with Louis Vuitton flourish. And they've embraced our game and our sport in really just an amazing and unprecedented way. So we couldn't be more thrilled.
But you have to be awfully proud of what's happened with the LEC. But give us a sense of what you see 48 hours from now with the competition we have ahead of us.
Yeah, it's incredible being here back in Paris. I was here in 2017 for the summer finals for LEC. An amazing crowd, so it's very exciting to get back here again. And look, I am a little bit biased. G2's had an incredible year this year, winning both splits and MSI. So there's a great storyline if they can be the first team to hit a Grand Slam and win everything this year. So I'm super excited about that. Huge fan of Perks and Caps and Caps Dad. And then FPX, I'm just getting up to speed on the Eastern Leagues. Naz and I actually sat together in Madrid and watched the matches with IG, some of the most incredible competition I think I've seen in League of Legends, particularly Game 2 was just amazing. Probably the best game I've ever seen in League of Legends. So super excited about them. Doing B is an amazing talent as well. So I think regardless of the outcome, fans are just going to see some amazing League of Legends on Sunday, and I'm super excited about it.
Jess, lots of amazing things happening at League of Legends. The skin we're going to see on Sunday with Kiana, can't wait to see that in game. Will you actually flip the switch?
We'll be flipping the switch.
Yes. She's pretty hard to play though, so I'm not sure I'll be able to take it. But tell us a little bit about, I mean, the game itself is so rich, and as lead producer, obviously you're behind the genius and the creativity that we all get to enjoy as fans of esports and the game. Tell us a little bit about how that happens and the in-game experience that we're gonna see 48 hours from now.
Yeah, I mean, for True Damage, when we were first thinking about what we wanted to do this year, we kind of looked back at KDA and really wanted to make a spiritual successor to that skin line and that integration with the event. And so, but we wanted to do a little bit different, and so we wanted to maybe explore hip-hop and streetwear and what that whole culture would look like in the game and beyond that. And so when we actually met up with Nicolas Gasquer and the LV team and kind of showed them some of the concepts for what we were imagining for True Damage, they were amazing. They really understood and digested what we were going for. And they had such an eye for what kind of elevated hip-hop royalty could look like with the Louis Vuitton collection. And it was like a true collaboration, and we're really excited to see it come to life.
Hey guys, Tyler of ESPN. This is for Nicolo. I think one of the most always discussed topics at Worlds is the tickets and how they're sold and how sometimes they get sold out in seconds, and especially with China coming up. And I know I was there in 2017 and there were scalpers everywhere. Have you guys already started like talking about how you're gonna deal with the demand of tickets going to the 2020 Worlds?
I'll say a few words, and I'm sure John will have some updates there too. But you know, it's always a frustrating experience. As a fan, I actually experienced that myself. Last year, France went to the final of the World Cup, and I really wanted to see them. And I booked a ticket to go to Moscow, and I tell you, I had to buy a place at a ridiculous amount of money. So I feel the pain, and it's really hard because regardless of the size of our venue, there's always going to be so much more demand. So that's something we're thoughtful, and we know there's been a lot of pain, and we're always going to try to improve the system. I know Jen has been working on more updates on this. Do you want to share a few words there?
I actually got an email from Nicolo on this issue when we were opening up tickets for Worlds. Yeah, so we're trying to plan better our finals and get ahead of them a little bit earlier so that we can open up ticket sales. We will definitely work on that for the spectacle that we're going to put on in China this next year. But it's difficult, just so you understand, creatively. I think you've seen we do these pop culture moments with music and entertainment. It requires a lot of choreography and setup to do that, so our staging is constantly changing for a long time, right up until a few months before the event. And then once we can land the staging, then we can open up the tickets, and we know where the best tickets will be. So we're going to get ahead of that this year, because we're going to need to. It's going to be massive in Shanghai.
So NA, LPL, and LEC now is a franchise system, and we can consider it as a success. And I was wondering, when do you plan to franchise the LCK, and what are your thoughts on the Korean market?
John, you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. Hello? Yeah, so obviously the LCK is kind of the father of esports, and you know, has a long tradition of esports, so incredible, important market for us and for our sport. We don't have any news right now to share on franchising. Hopefully we'll have some exciting things to talk about soon.
Hi, my name is Darius from the Shotcaller. My question is directed towards John as well. First of all, a huge thank you for your work on the LEC, and my question is related to that as well, as the LEC went through, of course, a huge rebrand this year, and it was deemed a huge success from the fans' side, mostly due to the fact that a lot of fans felt like the European spirit, the European humor, and all that kind of the culture was really shown in the league now. Due to that success, can we see other leagues dive more into cultural individualism in the future as well?
Yeah, I think positively. I think the great team we have in Berlin has done an amazing job building personality around the league, as you mentioned. And yeah, the other leagues have taken notice of the success of Rebrand, and I think you'll see some rebranding initiatives coming soon for a lot of our major leagues. We're also, for global esports, looking at ways that we can build a brand for ourselves that's kind of like a FIFA-like brand in a similar way that we did with the LEC.
Rick from Mais Sports from Brazil. I have a question for John. We still have a really great gap between the wildcard teams and the major region teams. What do you think Riot can make to, how can I say, close this gap?
Yeah, I mean, I think you'll see in a number of the tier 2 leagues around the world that we're looking at ways that we can increase their competitive level on the international stage. The best example I can point to is in Latin America. This last year, we merged 2 leagues together, and we announced a partnership with TV Azteca, and we're going to be doing with them all the production of the Latin American League in Mexico City, which is going to be amazing because TV Azteca is a great broadcast partner. And similarly, in Southeast Asia, there'll be some consolidation as well, hoping that that leads to some concentration of talent that, again, while viewership and fandom is growing around those leagues, that they can take stronger teams to the international stage.
Hey, Tyler from ESPN again. This is for Jess. The response of the Louis Vuitton skins have been like really outpouring, like very positive. Are there any plans to take the in-game style and bring it into physical clothing with Louis Vuitton? Any like selling them as physical clothing items?
Sure, I can take that one instead. Yeah, we're really excited about this partnership because it is so multifaceted. It's the first time in our history as a company that we have brought in a partner across the sport, across the game, and IRL, right? And so, Nicolas Jesquier is dressing our in-game champions, but then they're going to be launching a capsule collection of Louis Vuitton product that is inspired by the League of Legends universe. So there's not much more we can share on it at this time, but definitely stay tuned. It's going to be great.
How do you actually go about having that take place?
Yeah, I mean, so when we think about just like what the concept's going to look like, what themes we want to go for, we kind of see what champions would actually fit really well with that theme. Not every champion is a good pairing, and so when we were, especially for the True Damage case, thinking about, and for the Prestige Louis Vuitton skins, what would be a good fit, we wanted to make sure that the personalities actually came through with the themes that we were looking for. So again, going into the streetwear and the culture of hip hop and understanding these kind of larger than life personalities or taking center stage in a live audience environment. And so for the skins development process, a lot of it is trying to figure out what the key thematic pillars are going to be, what kind of like design sensibilities we want to put into the actual concept. And then afterwards, we start building it from scratch, from concept into character art, into modeling, rigging, and then finally getting into game, where we can then kind of see it come to life and play it out. And so, yeah.
Horizon Esports, just have a question, and we'll be really appreciative if anyone in the panel could answer this. When KDA was announced at 2018 World Championship Final, the reaction was overwhelmingly positive, and it also grew a lot of following. People treated it like a real group, and there was almost like a culture built around it. And for 2019 World Championship Final, we will be seeing some kind of debut stage for True Damage, and we are wondering whether there are long-term plans for True Damage, whether there will be albums for it, whether there will be like Instagram channels for it, or will fans be able to appreciate the group as if it was a real band?
Yeah, I can take a first stab at this. We're definitely interested in kind of like a long-term pursuit in developing our universes, our alternate universes like True Damage and KD8 before it. It's actually the same universe, and so we really wanted to evolve it over time and introduce these new characters. And with that come the songs that we hope to kind of share with players, and we find that to be the thing that connects players into the context of real world and being able to feel like they can really connect to the characters in a new way. So yeah, we have like a very high interest in continuing to develop that forward and see new kind of explorations into both of those universes in the future.
Hi, this is Tom from Invent Global. I just wanted a quick from everyone a prediction for the finals, who's going to win and with what score.
Ooh, on the spot now. We'll start with the big cheese, Niccolo.
So, you know, as a CEO, I'm supposed to be impartial. So I'm not going to tell you that that my favorite is G2. Instead, I'm going to tell you that I hope for a full 5 match and the best of League of Legends sports. Does that work?
No. I need a team.
Yes, I think similarly, us sitting on the global esports team, we're supposed to be Switzerland. We're supposed to be neutral. I'm very excited to be on the home turf in the region that G2 is playing. So I'm very excited to see them on stage. But I think that they're gonna have some really tough competition with FunPlus. But yeah, we'll see.
I really want to see a Grand Slam.
That's a traditional sports term, Grand Slam. Come on. What do we need? Quadrukill?
I spent too much time in Europe to not be biased. So, cheers. I love FPX. I think it's going to be amazing competition with the ultra aggressive style of FPX and the creative compositions that G2 plays. But my heart's here with G2. Cheers.
I'll take the other side. I think G2 is amazing. Definitely their high-level play, their macro is pretty unparalleled. But FunPlus has also an incredible history behind it. These are young, very, very talented, hardworking individuals who have come together in the most unlikely scenario to now come this close to winning the finals potentially. And so I'll take the other side.
Awesome.
And say maybe we can see some really, really bloody fights from FunPlus. That'd be really interesting to see.
Graham Ashton from the Esports Observer. If you look at the structure of the World Championship, it's very much like the UEFA Champions League in that it's professional teams, sometimes with imports from other regions. Has there ever been a discussion of building a competition that focuses on national teams and teams carrying national flags?
Yeah, I can take this. Yeah, we do talk about that all the time. I do think that we unlock a deeper fandom with national teams and national competitions. So we don't have any plans to talk about it yet, but that's certainly on our radar as a possibility.
Hi, Sue from Sky Sports. This question's for Jess. Fans of KD and True Damage are also really obsessed with the lore behind the bands. Was there any reason why Akali was chosen to participate in both instead of a different character?
Yeah, we really liked the idea of Akali, when we kind of looked at her history and kind of how the fan base kind of connected with her a lot. We wanted to see and explore what her career would kind of develop into, if she had complete creative control. And so we worked off of that, and after kind of a lot of discussion and development, we were like, okay, if Akali had her way, she would just go hard into hip hop and have her choice of what her dream cast would be. And that's actually how True Damage was born, is kind of this hip hop collective of Akali's choosing. It's very much born from her roots and her beginning and what she's inspired by. So yeah, that's the reason why we went with Akali.
This is for John. I know it's early days, but Riot recently announced, the new fighting game, new FPS, and there's a lot of questions around, will the League of Legends esports scene be wrapped around that stuff of maybe like a TFT or FPS connected to the League of Legends esports scene, or do you think the esports scenes will be kept separate?
I mean, we're talking about how to evolve esports around the new games. Certainly, if our fans demand esports around these games, we feel like the games are ready for competitively for esports. We're going to do esports around them. It's core to kind of what we do at Riot. I think you saw this last month, we did our first TFT Invitational. We're going to have a charity TFT match at our All-Star event in December, and we've got some pretty exciting plans for next year with TFT specifically. So stay tuned. You're going to hear some exciting announcements end of this year and next year.
We'd especially like to thank Krzysztof Bujnowicz, Erich Althaus, Lukas Legal, Lazy Raven and Adam Novosviat for your continuous and very special support, and of course all the people whose names you see scrolling past you right now. We have a lot of amazing projects and of course Worlds 2019 in Europe coming up, so thank you so much for supporting us and enabling us to do our work. Thank you.